Hello, and welcome to another episode of Journey with Jones and the Livingston Parish Library. My name is Amanda Jones. I am the school librarian at Live Oak Middle School.
And I'm Miss Kellye Ray from Albany-Springfield Library. I'm the youth coordinator. You'll see me on the youth services side.
And
Welcome.
welcome. And we are about to take an adventure to grassland habitats. Now, I'm going to show you several links that are in virtual reality. And if you would like to access these on your own, down in the YouTube description, there is a copy to this presentation. You can feel free to go and click on that and explore these links on your own. So let's go ahead and get started. So we are going to be looking at grasslands today. Now, there are two types of grasslands. Savannas and temperate grasslands. We're going to be taking a whole other journey with Jones and the Livingston Parish Library to discuss savannas later on. This trip is going to be focused on temperate grasslands. So that's what we're looking at today. Now, grassland habitats, you can see in this map, this is where you will find most of your grasslands. You can see here in the United States, we have a large area of grasslands. There is also a map. Let me click on this link. There is a map right here that will show you worldwide some other grasslands. Now, grassland habitats take, they usually average 20 to 35 inches of rain per year. Now, in the United States, we tend to refer to grasslands as a prairie, a temperate grassland as a prairie. But in South America, they call them pampas. In Southern Africa, they will call them a veld. And in Asia, they will refer to them as a steppe. So if you hear me use any of these terms, we're all referring to temperate grasslands when I say these terms. Generally speaking, grasslands are devoid of trees, but not always. Sometimes they have a few trees, but it's called a grassland because it's made of mostly grass. There is moderate rainfall. They have rich soil. And the rich soil is very conducive to agriculture and farming. So in a lot of these areas, you can see right here, particularly in the United States right here, you'll find a lot of farmland. Grasslands cover 31% of the Earth's land areas. Now, we are going to look at several places in virtual reality. We're going to visit several different grasslands. And I am very horrible at pronunciation. So I'm pretty sure you pronounce this Nachusa. I have no idea. All right, so the first place we're going to look at is the Nachusa, I have no idea, grassland. Now, we're looking at a website called 360cities.net. And the cool thing about this website is that there is a VR option. So if you have a phone, you can actually go visit this link and you can click this and you can create you can put your phone in a VR headset. They sell them at Walmart for like $5, or you can Google how to make one out of cardboard at your home. So this is the Nachusa grassland. It is 3,800 acres of grasslands. It is restored prairie grass that you will find in Illinois. Now we're looking at this in 360. So you can look up, oops, I'll look down. You can look down, you can look up. You can spin all around. So you can also zoom in on this website. And like I said, this website does have VR capabilities, so you can go through. Now, just a few facts. This grassland area is a protected area in Illinois. And the cool thing about this protected area is that it is a bison rehabilitation center. And actually what they have done is they have introduced 100 bison, and we're going to look at bison in a little bit. They have reintroduced 100 bison to this area, bison commonly known as buffalo, on this preserve. And what they're hoping to do is that these buffalo or bison will repopulate and roam this area, and they can recreate what it was like before we started seeing the disappearance of buffalo in the wild. So this is the Nachusa Prairie or grassland area in Illinois. The animals that you would find in this area would typically be bison, skunks, bluebirds, and foxes. All right. The next area that we're going to look at is the Huhinar, and again, I'm horrible at pronunciations, grassland in Mongolia, China. So this is a grassland area. You can see it looks a little greener than the one in Illinois. This is in Mongolia. which is in China. Now, it is very hot and rainy in the summer, but it can be very cold and long days in the winter. It is a large flat plain, and it's mostly just grassland. And this is 360-degree website, so you can look up, you can look down. It's hard to navigate this while I'm talking. But the animals that you would find in this grassland in China would be wild horses, rodents like gerbils and voles, and birds like the goldfinch. So that is in China. Let's take a look at another grassland. So now we're going to look at a prairie in Madison. So this is a prairie. And again, we're using that 360cities.net website. This is a prairie in Madison, Wisconsin. You can see the very tall grass. And see, it does have some trees. The cool thing about this website is when you see the little arrows right here, that means there are other vantage points from the same area. You can click on and look around at other vantage points. So this is prairie. Look at the high grass growing here, and that's a trail. What the type of animals you would find in this area of Madison, Wisconsin, in the prairie would be groundhogs, otters if it's near water, muskrats, and a lot of deer in this prairie right here. And we're going to take a virtual tour of one more area in the Klingen grasslands. And this is prairie grass. This is a prairie in Iowa. And remember, we said grasslands that are temperate are usually referred to as prairies in the United States. This is a prairie in Iowa. You can see there are some trees, but a lot of open grassland. Now, this area in Iowa is part of the Chickasaw Bottoms, which is a protective grassland area. And we can zoom in. And a lot of the animals that you would find here in this prairie grassland would be geese, bison, ducks, and beaver if it's near a water source. So those are just some 360-degree views of different grasslands, temperate grasslands. Now, let's talk wildlife, okay? Now, now this says hoofed animals, and the southern in me wants to say hooved animals, but there are a lot of animals with hoofs in prairie grasslands and temperate grasslands and in savannas, which you're going to see when we take our trip to the savannas. But a lot of animals and grasslands have hooves. They're mammals. And as you can see in this website, when you get to click on this link yourself, you can click and read this a little bit better. But a lot of the animals that you would find, deer, antelope, things like that, they are going to have hoofs. And this is a really cool website called DK Find Out, where you can go and you can read all about these types of animals. Now, I want to look at some specific animals in the grasslands. So let's take a look. Now, this link has a ton of different animals that you would find in grassland habitats. Some in savannas, some in temperate grasslands. But today we're going to talk about the armadillo. And we are familiar with armadillos in Louisiana because we have them around here. So let me click on armadillo. And this is a picture of an armadillo. Now, armadillo means little armored one in Spanish. They have very, very sharp claws. If you've ever seen one, we have a lot around my home here in Louisiana, and they have very, very sharp claws. They are covered in this protective layer of armor. Now, some armadillos can be 30 inches long, but there is a species called the giant armadillo in some grasslands that can be 60 inches long and can even be up to 120 pounds. That's a pretty gigantic armadillo. I don't know that I would want to run into an armadillo that large at my home. Many species of armadillo are endangered. Obviously not the ones we see here in Louisiana. They are not endangered. There's a million of them. But there are specific species in some of the grasslands that are endangered. And this is a picture of the armadillo. They have very, very small legs, but they can run really quickly. Like really quickly with their little small legs. They use their claws. You can see the claws here. They use their claws to dig their dens and eat grubs. They love to eat grubs. So that is the armadillo. Now, another animal that we are going to look at is the bandicoot. If I can find it. There it is. Bandicoot right here. And this website, you can click on all of these animals and you can read all about them. But this is a bandicoot right here. Now, a bandicoot is a marsupial that only lives in Australia or in Indonesian grasslands. There are 20 different species, and they are known because they have a V-shaped face. You can see their face kind of looks like a V right there. They are omnivorous, which means they eat plants and animals, although they're so tiny. I don't know what kind of animals they eat. I guess I could have looked that up. But they dig a lot like armadillos. They use their claws, and they dig just like an armadillo would dig. So let's see, what else are we going to look at? Those are two types of animals. Now we're going to visit this website and look at bison, or what we call, some of us call buffalo. Now, I didn't know this, but there were actually 8 different species of bison, 6 of which are extinct. Fortunately, we still have several American bison, American buffalo in the United States. There are, like I said, 2 species of bison still exist today. They are the largest terrestrial animals in the United States. Let's see if I can click on this and get a better picture. So you can see they're covered in fur. They have horns. They're quite large. So the adults can be 6.5 feet tall, which I'm only 5'7". So even standing next to them, they would be almost a whole foot taller than me. They can get to be 11.5 feet long, which is very long, especially if you consider a basketball goal is like 10 feet tall. They can weigh 2,800 pounds, which is massive. They are nomadic grazers, so they travel around in herds. They go around from place to place, and they travel in herds. That is the bison. And we are also going to talk real quickly about prairie dogs. Now, the cool thing about prairie dogs is I always thought they were dogs. They are not actually dogs. They're actually a type of squirrel, which I did not know. They are herbivorous. So they only eat plants. They live in burrows. And there are 5 species. So they are actually a ground squirrel, squirrels that live in the ground. They're called prairie dogs. They can be 1 to 1.5 feet tall. They mainly eat grasses and seeds. They're very highly social, though. So if you ever go into a prairie and you see 1 or 2 prairie dogs, just know they're very social and they live in families. There's probably 30, 40, 50 in the ground in burrows underneath the one you see that's above ground. They can detect predators from a great distance. They have a very good sense of smell and hearing, and they are known for their loud barks. Their loud barks. They make, I don't know if anyone has ever seen the funny memes and vines that they have of prairie dogs barking, but they will, if they sense a predator, they will make a huge barking sound. So that is some of the wildlife that you'll find in a grassland habitat. What I have included in this presentation, there are some more resources if you want to read about more animals and the area of grasslands. There's also a really cool video right here that we're not going to watch, but book suggestions. So the Livingston Parish Library has a ton of books on grassland habitats. These are the 3 that I like best that I would recommend. They have a book called Habitats that is not just on grasslands, it's multiple habitats, but it's an amazing book. There's also a book called The Herd Boy by Nikki Daly and Prairie Song by Susan Roth. All of these are available at the Livingston Parish Library for checkout. And now I'm going to turn it over to Miss Kellye Ray to discuss a few things happening at the Livingston Parish Library.
Well, it's great to see everybody, and happy to have lots of people coming out to the library now. That's a good thing. And we have our story time open now on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. And we also have a daily scavenger hunt, a story walk, a take-home craft, and lots of prizes that you can win and pick up daily. From our library. And think about our programs. We have lots of programs going on. We have a movie matinee. We also have a read and bead so that you can put a little beaded animal together. And so check out our website, check out our calendar, and just come to the library. We'll be happy to assist you. And as I said, my name is Kellye Ray, and I am the youth coordinator on the youth services side of the library.
Thank you. And I actually have been doing the adult summer reading program, and I finished it, but now I'm trying to get all the badges. I'm a little competitive.
That's right. Oh, don't forget about, yes, the animal ID badge. So you can go from my library to all the 5 branches and earn a badge. And with that, I'm sure you'll get some extra recognition also. I did have one, so a shout out to Devin Alexander. Haven't got his picture out there yet, but I did have a little fella take a field trip and go to all 5 of our branches and acquire and collect the 5 badges. So
yay, good job, Dylan.
Devin.
Devin, I'm sorry, I said Dylan. Sorry, Devin. Good job, Devin. Wait, yeah, Devin.
That's it, Devin Alexander.
If you have enjoyed this journey to Grasslands, we have one coming up on July 9th to the wetland habitat, and we will be at cave habitats on July 16th. All of these Journey with Jones at the Livingston Parish Library can be found at the Live Oak Middle School Library's website. Also, you can check out the Livingston Parish Library and Live Oak Middle Library on Facebook and Instagram. We have enjoyed traveling with you today. We hope you have a great day, and we will see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.